Currently, we are still stuck at LSIT, and I think it is because I haven't given enough thought on how to actually get there. I have just been trying things until now. I feel like I now know which exercises will get me to LSIT, so I decided to set SMART goals. And I already feel less fatigue about making progress as I have the goals written down and I will read those to you next. As you might know, SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Let's go through each of these words and define my LSIT progression with these. Specific. I will train LSIT-like exercises at least 4 times a week until failure. So that's very specific. You can't get around that. Measurable. Every workout I will clock or count how many seconds I can hold tuck LSIT, and if at that particular day I'm not strong enough to hold tuck LSIT, I will clock how long I can hold a single leg raise for each leg. Achievable. For tuck LSIT, the goal is 15 seconds. And for single leg raises, the goal is 20 seconds hold for each leg. And this is very important. I can't just set my goal to LSIT like I have been doing and expect it to work. I must start from easier sub goals. So I feel very good about this. Then, second to last point on the SMART thing, relevancy or relevant. The goal aligns with my end goal, LSIT, as I'm doing easier LSIT variations. And when I reach my sub goals, I will try LSIT, and if I can't yet hold it, I will choose new sub goals from a pool of harder LSIT-like exercises, which I can find on the internet very easily. These are just two, the tuck LSIT and the single leg raises, which I think I can do now and progress with those. And if those won't work, I will take the new sub goals and then assess hold times to those. And then the deadline, the last point. I have my 1 year deadline, which I already assigned very much earlier this year. And if the 1 year passes and my goals aren't yet met, I will assign a new deadline, which I know is kinda stupid for a deadline, but that's just how it's going to be. So I have taken up stretching and warm up, and here you can see I am stretching and warming up my wrists firstly sideways, then the back side, and lastly the front side. This is because we need consistency, since we have 4 workouts a week, and the only way to win is to stay in the game, so we can't take an injury here. Here we can see my dilemma. Holding the proper tuck LSIT, I can do maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and if I do single leg raises, I can hold 20 seconds easily. As you can see here, this is not much of a challenge for me, so we must figure something out. Once again, LSIT in tuck, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, not sped up clip, unlike the last one. This one's a bit longer, but you get the point. So we have to do a harder variation, as I was talking about in the intro, of the single leg raise. And my form is not proper here. I should be leaning more back with my back. And one way to make this LSIT in tuck position easier is to elevate myself from the ground. And this is actually much easier than on the floor. As you can see, I can hold over 10 seconds, struggling a bit. But the problem here is these chairs that I have at my house are very soft on the top, so it hurt my wrist, and we can't use this solution either in the long term. In these chair clips, the holds are 10 plus seconds, as I was to measure them, as I said in the intro, which is actually really solid. So then I looked up the internet and saw that you can use books to elevate yourself, but the problem here is that my other book on the left hand is actually solid and has a hard cover, so it's good, but the one on the right hand is a soft one and it also hurt my wrist, so we can't use that either. So here we see my final solution to getting better at tuck L-sit. I can't do it on the chairs because it hurt my wrists, and I can't do it on the floor because I am simply not strong enough. So I took some wooden pieces of my one broken down IKEA furniture and then put some hardcover books on top of that one. So now I have a perfect place to get a proper form tuck L-sit and also not hurt my wrists. So that's it for the L-sit part of this video. I will try to make new video every week from now on, as I have motivation and maybe a bit more discipline too. And for the rest of the video I thought I would show you some miscellaneous clips, which are what I've been doing. And as you know, or as you might know, on my pyramid there's the next thing we must work on is the handstand push-up. So I've been learning the handstand and searching for balance to it and trying some push-ups against the wall, which there are actually none on this video. And in this second clip I was able to do maybe 7 seconds handstand without using the wall. You can't really see it because you can see the top of my legs where they are, but I was able to nudge my balance with my fingers and the palms of my hand for maybe 5 times back and forth. And I have gained a lot of strength too on the handstand. I would say I can do maybe 50% longer holds than I could in the beginning, so it's nice to see progress here also. These next clips are my pseudo planche push-ups and pseudo planche lean, which I have actually a gym bro film this one for me. As you can see, my pelvis is way too high and my wrist position is also wrong. And in this clip I am leaning towards the wall with 2 shoe lengths from the wall, so I can measure my progress, which is important as we thought about in the intro. And here the wrist position is slightly better already, and the pelvis is also a bit lower, but still a lot of learning to do in pushing the scapula forward and keeping the proper form. As you can see, my lower back is arching, but we are slowly learning to do these exercises better, and maybe I will figure something out for this one too. And watching my tuck planche videos made me realize that the form is very bad, as in the L-sit video too, and for the L-sit we made some adjustments so we can do easier workouts for longer time, which are with proper form. So that's why I took up the frog stand, where I will lean on my hands with my knees and try to find balance and get some strength on my shoulders, and the scapula is upright and the back is not arched. Instead it is held downwards. Excuse me. I filmed it on a few different angles and I measured the time. I was able to hold maybe 8 seconds at the moment, so that is really good time range to be in where we will make progress and we are improving constantly, and this is not too hard for me to do. So we have definitely made mental progress in thinking about how to progress towards the end goal, and I'm really proud of this mental work that I've been doing almost every single day when I go for a walk, and I've been thinking in my head how can I improve, because I have been going in circles for so long. So lastly here I have some neck exercises which I will be making a separate video about. This is something I've been working on. And then I made a table which I will put my times of how long I can hold each exercise and then maybe plot these to see how we've progressed and at which point we can move on to a harder exercise so someone can use that information for themselves. This last clip is dedicated to my Finnish viewers, which I think pretty much most of you or maybe all are, but anyways, and for a disclaimer, every clip on this video was pretty much filmed with the device I am about to coin. Moro YouTube pitkästä aikaa. Mä ajattelin tehdä tällaisen bonussegmentin noitten normaaleitten voimisteluklippien perään. Ja bonusklippi koskee tämmöstä. Mä tein köyhän miehen kolmijalan. Eli ideana on se, että leikitään, että tää on mun puhelin. Puhelin menee tohon koloon. Ja sit siinä on nyt kolmijalka puhelimelle. Puhelin pujotetaan niinku tuolta. Tollain kulmaan niin, että takakamera näkee tuolta. Ja tarvikkeet mitä tarvii tähän, niin jollain Asicsin kenkälaatikko, mistä mä sain ton idean, että tossa oli tommonen kolo. Ja tostahan niinku ei tarvinnut leikata itse mitään koloa, kun tohon jää tommonen hyvä kolo, kun siinä leikkaa ton kolon tohon. Ja sitten tää on hieno irrotettava tietysti. Tämmönen vanha Waldorfin salaattikippo, missä on tällaiset hyvät syvennykset ja 2 kertakäyttöistä veistä, unohdin sen sana, mistä leikkaa nuo kärjet pois ja sitten vaan noin se solahtaa sinne, pujottaa ton. Ja sitten tää on taittuva tää kulma, niin ton voi laittaa tohon, jos haluaa, että se on vähän enemmän kallellaan, kallistuu enemmän, tai tonne, niin se on vähän jäykempi. Ja sitten tätä pystyy tässä vähän suuntaan taakse eteen, niin että se pysyy, kun toi puhelin painaa tossa, niin saa vähän eri kulmasta otettua. Ja toi toimisi myös niin, että voi ottaa etukamerallakin videoita, jos olisi taas se puhelin, niin kääntää sen vaan toisinpäin ja laittaa esim. Tohon, niin sit se etukamera olisi tossa ja kuvaa tähän. Ja sitten tässä on tämmönen ylimääräinen lerpake, koska elämässä on hyvä olla olemassa ylimääräinen lerpake. Se on kiva olla tommonen lerpake. Lerpake on tärkeä olla lerpake. Ja sen idea on niin tasapainottaa tätä, että nyt jos mä haluaisin kuvata vähän yläviistoa, se puhelin painaa tossa, niin mä saan vähän taitettua tätä niinku taaksepäin. Ja sitten taas, jos mä haluan, että se katsoo vähän alas, niin mä laitan ton lerpakkeen tonne eteen, niin se painopiste nojaa tonne eteen. Niin nyt on vähän niinku kolmijalka noiden videoiden kuvaamista, kun ennen mun piti laittaa, jos mä halusin kuvata vaikka lattialla teen jotain, niin puhelin periaatteessa tota vasten nojaa ja takakameralla ja sit se on vaikea nähdä mihin se katsoo ja miten se kuvaa. Niin tossahan mä näen mihin toi kamera näkee ja tossa on se näyttö, tossa on record-buttoni. Niin mun on tosi helppo nyt, niin kuin vähän tulee parempia videoklippejä. Tämmöstä.